nationally, and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay!
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And of course, this is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines buzzing up and down your timeline. And tonight, we're talking power, proximity, and what happens when old stories swing back around. Shout out to Andy because he's always on theme, and it's never a bad time to play some New Edition. Shout out to New Edition Boyz II Men and Toni Braxton. Actually, they start their tour Friday in Oakland, Saturday at the Kia Forum here in LA. Well, Inglewood, excuse me. Of course I'm going to be in the building. What are you saying, Andy? What are you saying? It's New Edition. So listen, tonight we are talking about a hip-hop exec rehashing a decades-old alleged altercation that involves the Reverend Al Sharpton. We're going to get into that. We are also going to talk about Paul Pierce being pulled into court over paternity claims. This comes after months and months and months of Paul on his podcast, espousing his views on relationships and the like. So we'll get into that. Also, we're talking Karen Huger's Welcome Home and how the prisoners took care of her when she was locked up. We'll get into that. And of course, more trending topics and headlines. But before we do, we got to get into a couple of conversation starters to warm you up, right? So get your snacks, get your libations, because we're going into things. First up, now this was actually Sunday. I forgot to mention this, but happy birthday to BET. Okay, January 25th, 1980, BET first aired as a 2-hour weekly block of programming, 46 years of stories, right, about us, music, moments, all of the things. We know BET looks a little different now. BET launched with just a handful of advertisers, limited cable access, and why did I just blank on Bob's last name? Bob Johnson's dream. That's all it was, right? It wasn't cool at the time or profitable yet, right? The network grew up alongside hip-hop, MTV, black sitcoms, black journalism coming to the front, black art, black award show culture. Remember, the Soul Train Awards didn't start till 1984. So BET was groundbreaking. We all have our thoughts and opinions on what it has become currently, but remember what it did for us, okay? Every streamer chasing urban audiences today is borrowing from a blueprint they learned from BET. If you think about it, nobody else wanted to take the risk, but Bob Johnson did. So big ups to BET. Andy, did you have something to add?
I was just going to ask, do we really care about, their anniversary?
I mean, I think it's...
Considering the content now?
Well, what is the content now? Is
I
it
don't
necessarily bad? Right. That's the thing. That's the thing. Most people don't know. I think the actual channel itself still does a lot of syndicated stuff. That's what it's always done. That's been how it's been able to survive. We know the award show is still a tentpole for culture.
That's probably the only thing that I tap into on BET is when award season comes on.
So, we still got to salute it. I don't know. BET walks so everybody else could run with the algorithm.
Is that show Sisters still on?
That it is, but
know
that
what?
actually started from streaming. But
Oh,
it does.
really?
That's a Tyler Perry show. Was created for streaming and then crossed back over to linear TV because of the success it had on streaming. So a lot of the shows that are on there might have started, the opposite way, streaming first and then rolled back.
Which is actually quite interesting because I feel like that's what TV is nowadays. A lot of stuff that started streaming. You know what I'm saying? Issa Rae, I don't know if she had a show, right?
Yeah,
It started
Awkward
off as
Black
streaming,
Girl.
and
It
then
was,
became
on
TV.
YouTube.
Pat McAfee on the sports side was just on streaming, and then now it's on ESPN or whatnot. I just, just a cool little observation right there. TV is changing, obviously.
It very much is. And we are sending prayers to Quentin Aaron, star of the 2009 film The Blind Side. He has been hospitalized after falling in his Atlanta home. He is on life support. There's a GoFundMe page for the actor. His family is asking, it's a severe blood infection, they're saying. His family is asking for privacy, but there is a GoFundMe. He's said to be in stable condition now and able to communicate with others. If you feel so inclined, go help. It's another reminder that Hollywood visibility does not necessarily equal long-term security, right? One iconic role does not guarantee health coverage, wealth, or protection, especially for actors who aren't continuously cast. So, thoughts and prayers going out to him and his family. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.
Drop it!
Hey, KBLA delegation, you know what's better than laughing? Laughing while celebrating the legends who made us laugh in the first place. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to present our annual Black History Month luncheon. And this year, we're honoring comedy greats, trailblazers who broke barriers, and funny bones at the same time.
You had to grow up early when we was growing up because your parents were seen to the store to buy. You was too young to buy. I want you to go to the store, get me a fifth of gin and a pack of cigarettes. Mama, I'm 2. They ain't gonna let me have that. Here, take this note. You be a little boy walking down the street with liquor and cigarettes. And your neighbors be going, that's a good little boy right there.
We need a little levity right about now. So we're rolling out the red carpet for comedy royalty. D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Lunel, Dion Cole, Martin Lawrence, and a surprise guest appearance. It's going up Thursday, February 26th in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. An unforgettable afternoon of stories, celebration, and yes, plenty of laughs. Because let's be real, these legends don't just tell jokes. They have changed the game, opened doors, and made history while making us smile.
You gotta go to town, support court. You got to get there real early in the morning. You see brothers going into court. You see them come out 3 hours later. I can't pay this. Let me talk to you, baby. Please, let me talk to the witness, Your Honor. Let me talk to the witness. Brother be working for 3 weeks, get his check is $43.
This year, for the first time ever, we have set aside a limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon. They are going to go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. So, if you want a single ticket, or if your company or organization wants to sponsor a table, move swiftly and get to KBLA1580.com right now. All these comedy giants in one room on one stage at the same time? Stop it! This event is going to sell out quicker than right now and sooner than at once. KBLA Talk 1580's annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. It's gonna be legendary, just like them.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You got to laugh the pain away.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, if you want to get in on this conversation, 800-920-1580. That's the number that you can dial. You can also hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Download the app to catch up on past episodes. All right, kids. We know the 90s was a wild time when it comes to hip hop, right? As culturally progressive and iconic as it was, it also, had a lot of craziness to it, right? So hip hop history once again is getting messy after music executive Steve Rifkind, right? Steve was at RCA. I believe he created Loud Records. He's from New York. He helped launch the careers of Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Big Pun, Akon, and others in the 90s and 2000s. He got started in the music business working at his father's label, Spring Records. And I guess at one point in time, he was going to manage New Edition. But in this story he shares, he claims that Al Sharpton tried to come in and swoop the group from underneath him, and he retaliated. So let's check out the story. Again, I'm saying alleged because this is his version of events. But it is a pretty wild little, excursion down hip-hop history, if true. Well, is that hip-hop? Well, he's hip-hop. New Edition's obviously R&B, but you get what I'm saying? Let's go.
Remember the deli that I went to get the sandwich? Right. And the guy gave me a note there, Sharpton with his crew. And I just smacked him square on 55th and Broadway. We're all on a plane on Friday to LA to meet with the rest of the guys. We shake hands that we have a deal. So we're supposed to sign, say, 2 weeks later. And they were doing a celebrity basketball game in New York. The lawyer, us, were having dinner while they're in the celebrity basketball game. We walk into the hotel and we see Sharpton and Don King walking. Now, Sharpton lived in my dad's house. My dad raised Sharpton. What? Yeah. Really? They go up to see the guys. And I think Don offered each one of them $1 million. To manage them? To manage them. I'm crazy. And I said, I'm going to see you. I say it to Sharpton. So this is Saturday. We go back up. They said, well, they just offered us $5 million. I said, we can't give you $5 million, but we'll make you XYZ amount of money. Now it's just like, I want to just get Sharpton. So that Monday night, remember the deli that I went to get the sandwich? Right. And the guy gave me a note there, Sharpton with his crew. And I just smacked him square on 55th and Broadway. And he knows that if I get touched, but I want to get touched, like, let's go. Like, there'll be a different type of war on his hands that he's not going to want. I get upstairs, an hour later, and it's my father. He goes, you really are the dumbest. He goes, you could have gotten killed. I'm like, then come here and kill me, mother. Like, I'm screaming at him now, come and get me. If you're going to let this walk all over you, you support him, you feed him, you give him a house, everything else like that. I'm like, you're a and I hung up on my father.
So it's a lot to unpack there. First of all, Al Sharpton lived with Steve Rifkin's dad? That's crazy, if true. By the way, this is from Mario Ruiz, The Manager's Playbook. That's the podcast that the interview is from. But that's the first thing. So I was looking at the comments, and some people were like, why does this story feel racist to me? They don't know why they feel that way. They just do. I mean, look, even in the chat, Morris Phillips says, I thought that Al Sharpton was a man of Christ, not a hip-hop manager. Well, I mean, that's one of the things. If you think about Al Sharpton's name, right, especially when the perm was bigger, right, he's been both respected and criticized for navigating activism, politics, and celebrity adjacent. I guess, what do I want to say? Celebrity adjacent notoriety. That's a good word, notoriety. So I can't say from that regard that it is surprising to hear that maybe, having not heard Al's side or New Edition side, why specifically they wanted to get into their management situation. We know New Edition has had ups and downs as far as their career and people that were supposed to be on their side actively working to take money from their pockets. So was it a protection measure? I'm not sure. But just the idea, the thought that Steve Rifkind and Al Sharpton grew up in the same space or spent significant time there, is crazy. And then the fact that you're saying you slapped him on a public street, it's just crazy. Feels like a tall tale, may not be, because 90s hip hop, the era, was crazy, and Steve Rifkind is well known in those circles, right? And I don't know. It's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. I may have to go check out the podcast to see what else he was talking about and why he decided to bring up this particular moment, because I do feel like context matters, especially when you're talking about legacy figures, respected legacy figures. Andy?
Do you know if Rifkind is like Italian?
Sounds like it, right? I'm trying to remember if he is Italian or Jewish.
Okay. He just came off like a mob boss or, part of the mob.
Well, here's the thing.
His
dad, but
this
is the thing. His dad is a longtime music industry guy, right? And the mob and the music industry
there you go.
Had a relationship.
There you go.
Right? So... And it sounds like, to your point, even the way that his dad handled him. Tony Yayo is asking if Steve Rifkind is Sanaa Latham's ex. Yes, he is. They dated for a period of time, And again, you think about hip hop culture in the 90s, there was a lot of force tactics going on from all parts, right? So... And to your point, Andy, I think I even mentioned this the other night, or maybe this was in a conversation with someone else. Hip hop culture has been fascinated with mob culture.
That's real.
They have, intertwined Scarface movies, Mafioso, The Godfather, all of these things. So, it's not that far of a reach, but still an interesting story nonetheless. I'm going to have to go and peruse and see if I can figure out the backstory. Royal Jenkins says Reverend Al Sharpton was around James Brown and Muhammad Ali in the 70s. As I've said, he's always been celebrity adjacent in a lot of his dealings, Depends on which you got to know Reverend Al for, and also at what point in time.
And a lot of these celebrities need God in their life, so
facts, big facts. I mean, we look at
Reverend
TD
around.
Jakes has a lot of relationships currently.
He does.
I I used to go to Faithful Central in Inglewood. Bishop Ulmer had a lot of relationships. I mean, I remember when Britney Spears was coming to church there. So she came to church maybe it was just once. I remember. Yeah, it was right after, it was during her tabloid era or something. Morris Phillips says mob culture is also embedded with our CIA. Facts. Yeah, but is the CIA embedded in hip hop? I'm sure in some capacity, but I'm just saying,
Hell yeah. Hip hop police? Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know there's hip hop cops. I'm just saying, though, from the perspective of, I think when I talk about hip hop's relationship with mob culture, like even though the CIA has infiltrated, monitored, however you want to look at that, right? FBI, local police, whatever. There wasn't a desire to run their organizations like the CIA or the FBI. But with the mob, that's some of the things, the way that people deal with. You think about some of the things that we heard about with Suge Knight and some of the things he would do at Death Row, or obviously some of the things that we've heard from Diddy, right? They all have an element of things that we have seen in these mob movies over the years. Not just the intimidation, the embarrassment, just, the order, the capos, and all of these things
absolutely
have been absorbed into hip hop culture.
100%. Hey, it's a model for some of our artists, you know what I'm saying? MOB, money over, you already know.
Exactly. All of that. And then you think about, why are you laughing, Andy? You think about good point, Royal Jenkins. Almost every New York rapper talks about John Gotti. Facts. These are facts. Teflon Don and things of that nature. You even think about when we used to have cribs and things of that nature, and you looked in their homes. Everybody had a Scarface poster on the wall or some type of reference to those things. People love Goodfellas. They talk about Joe Pesci. What's the other one that is a companion piece to Goodfellas? It's not.
New Jack City.
New Jack City, yeah. That's our version of a mob movie. Casino, things of that nature. So, yeah. Mob culture is, to your point, there's a lot of, in some ways, similarity of, how do I want to frame this? Because I know it is insulting to a lot of Italian Americans being connected with the mob, much like it is to Black people automatically assuming they know somebody in a gang, right? But Italian street culture, I'll put it that way, and Black street culture are simpatico. They mirror one another a little bit. So there's that. All right. Let's talk about our guy, The Truth, Paul Pierce, right? We've seen Paul post-NBA career on some up and downs. Hall of Famer, right? Inglewood's own. Played for the Ops. Played for the Boston Celtics.
Sure did.
And first, before I get into this, Fahima has a comment about Al Sharpton in the chat. I've known Al Sharpton for 30 years, and as a member of an organization he headed up, never heard anything about him managing acts. And I'm not claiming to know that fact, but I'm just saying. I've never heard him managing someone either, but I have heard him to be involved. Again, these are Steve Rifkind's words, unverified thus far. I couldn't find anything to sort of back up what he said, but I also don't have a reason to believe that he is not telling the truth. So there's that. All right. Paul Pierce, like I said, up and down, Hall of Famer. Is he famously got fired from ESPN because on his off day he decided to show his poker playing escapade with strippers and weed, and ESPN is Disney owned, and they were like, no thank you. So now he's having a resurgence with The Truth After Dark. That is his podcast where he discussed a lot of relationship things. And we have gotten an inside peek into his mind as far as how he feels about women and relationship dynamics, et cetera, et cetera. He thinks women hit a wall at 30, fall off. Don't nobody want you, all that shit. All of these things, right? Well, looks like Paul wasn't being as smart as he would appear to be, I guess, from his commentary on the podcast, and is now being caught up and accused of fathering a child and going AWOL. So he's facing a paternity lawsuit filed after a woman claims that she wants genetic testing to determine if he's the father of her unborn child. Her name is Princess Santiago. She is an event director, and it was filed earlier this month, according to TMZ. She's requesting genetics testing, as I mentioned. PP, the truth, he's 48, and Santiago's statement said, "I've filed for paternity papers after multiple attempts to resolve this privately. Paul Pierce is the father of my son, King, and I am simply asking for a paternity test so the truth can be confirmed. This isn't about drama for attention. It's about accountability and doing what's right for my child." Thus far, Paul hasn't responded. So, post-career era athletes, dog, you managed to ski skirt these type of situations while you were in the league. What's going on now, right? What's going on? We'll have to see what develops and if he'll talk about it on The Truth After Dark. So listen, when we come forward, of course, more trending topics and headlines. We'll get into some of these comments, all of that and more.
No. This is the remix. What must I do to make it up to you? Come on. What can I say to make you see things my way? I know it's hard for you to understand. I did you wrong, but I'll give my life to make it right. Seems like all we do is fight, and it's been on my mind. Baby, it's been on my mind. I'm gonna make it right. I'll be by your side.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A Cook County, Illinois judge has ordered the release of Antonio Porter, a black Chicago man wrongfully convicted in a 2002 Southside murder.
I've been fighting a long time for my son. I've been really fighting for him.
Porter, who was serving a 71-year sentence despite witnesses recanting, will be freed with electronic monitoring, though a release date has not been set. Rapper Kanye West is standing by his apology for past anti-Semitic remarks following a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal linking his behavior to a brain injury and bipolar diagnosis. In a new interview with Vanity Fair, West rejected claims it was a PR move, saying the apology came from genuine remorse and a desire to stand for love and positivity. And actress Halle Berry is set to portray the President of the United States in a new film, The President is Missing, now in development at Apple. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Woodland Hills 101 southbound. It's crowding up from Winnetka all the way into downtown Los Angeles. You got a couple stretches of go through the Cahuenga Pass, but very slow ahead in Hollywood. Also tough on the 405 in West LA. This is southbound slowing from Santa Monica Boulevard and stretches all the way to Palo Verde in Long Beach. Let's head out to Irvine. This is the 5 northbound. It crowds up away from Culver Drive. Heavy and slow all the way to Harbor in Anaheim. And it's pretty tough still in Ontario for both directions of the 15 between the 60 and the 10.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
At the end of the regular season, 10 NFL teams were looking for a head coach. 7 of those teams have hired a new head coach, but none of the openings went to an African American. Cleveland, Arizona, and the Las Vegas Raiders are the last remaining teams still interviewing candidates. It would not be a good look for the NFL, which preaches diversity, to have 10 openings for a head coach, and none of those jobs are filled by an African American. At the moment, only 3 of the NFL's 32 teams have an African American head coach. Aaron Glenn with the New York Jets, Todd Bowles with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and D'Amico Ryan with the Houston Texans. The odds makers in Vegas list Seattle as a 4.5-point favorite over New England in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60 is scheduled for February 8th in Santa Clara, the home stadium of the San Francisco 49ers. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay! February 4th is Transit Equity Day. To mark the occasion, Metro is offering free rides all day on the 4th. Providing safe, accessible, and affordable transportation is a commitment Metro makes year-round. Learn more at thesource.metro.net. Worried about unpredictable utility bills this winter? LADWP's Level Pay makes budgeting a breeze. With Level Pay, you'll receive a monthly bill that stays the same. No surprises. Even past due amounts can be rolled in, and you'll skip those seasonal spikes from heating your home. Sign up today at ladwp.com/levelpay. That's ladwp.com/levelpay, or call 1-800-DIAL-DWP and take control of your bill.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Andy, is this Glenn Jones? Okay. So I thought, now, what I don't know, I know it's Show Me. I don't know what year this came out. I have no clue. But it was a bop. All right, you guys. Thank you for locking in. What year, Andy? You don't know. Okay. All right. Listen, we're about to get into some more things. Well, this was actually requested in the YouTube chat. Shout out to the VIPs to give a Ray J update. Now, Ray J was hospitalized a few weeks back, I guess, in Vegas. It's said to be pneumonia, right? Ended up a little more serious. He's been released, but of course he live streams. So with joint in hand, Ray J said that he's not going to be crashing out in 2026 like he was in 2025. He thanks everyone for praying for him. Joint in hand, saying that his heart is only beating at 25%. He also said that his condition, shout out to Maurice Geist, saying that the Glenn Jones song is a Kashif production. You certainly know Kashif Productions. What else? Love Changes. That was 1984. Wow. I thought it was later than
83.
that. 83? Wow. I didn't realize it was that old. Big ups to that. Sorry, you guys, for switching topics really quickly, but, the updates. All right. So Ray J said it's due to his fast lifestyle of alcohol and drugs. Again, he said some of this with a joint in hand. I suppose a joint is better than a blunt, right? If you know, you know. Do I think he is serious? Yes, I do. Do I think he's taking it serious? I don't know. And that's just being real. I've talked about for a long time Ray courting controversy to promote his things. But I do think that there could be a lot going on with his health because he has been outside in the life for a very, very long time.
I've noticed that gut too.
Yeah, that's, because he's not young anymore.
That's fair. I get that.
And so your body changes, metabolism changes, and things of that nature. So, you could party and BS all night at one point when you're young, eat bad food, do all of that stuff. But Ray is in his 40s, mid-40s. It's time to take your health seriously. You're a dad. Andy? Okay. I'm just saying, so I hope that he gets focused on his children, and takes that stuff seriously. But he's been living a certain type of lifestyle for a very long time. So, Morris Phillips says some folks believe that a blunt can serve as a nutritional supplement over a period of time. I know people do say that cannabis is medicinal.
It is.
But
depends on how you consume it.
Exactly. And so blunt wraps, even if you're using the natural ones, probably aren't the healthiest way if you are going to indulge in that. Right?
Let's not blame it on the weed, though.
I'm not blaming it on the weed.
Let's not blame it on
I
the
blame
blunt,
it more on the alcohol than the weed.
I'm with you 100%.
Right? Because alcohol turns into sugar that can be part of the gut, and just we know what it does to the liver. Again, just overall better health. I hope Ray J, locks in a different way, in a different sort of way, because we're all rooting for you, Ray J. Okay, so listen, I feel like we're all over the place tonight. Like, it's a lot of craziness going on, just craziness. So I mentioned that Karen Huger has been released from jail. I believe they dropped a tease. I don't think the episode is aired yet, of her reappearance back on Real Housewives of Potomac, right? And we know that show, she's the Grande Dame. She was on hold for a little bit because of a DUI. And now she's back, right? And she returned home after serving her time. It was an emotional moment, right? It stemmed from a 2024 crash, and there's video online if you want to see it. She was, regulated to time, paid $2,900 in fines, 5 years probations. what she shared when she came home with her box braids was that her fellow inmates removed their own hair extensions so that they could braid up Karen's hair. They really took care of her and held her down in jail, right? Karen said, I think it's beautiful. Now, we know she probably is used to being coiffed quite expensively, but in there, everybody's equal, and it sounds like they took good care of her. I will say this, though, because I saw this all in the comments, right? I don't, it's not just about a hairstyle, it's about sisterhood, but some women were like, be careful, that's voodoo. Somebody putting their own hair and utilizing it in your hair. I don't know if I would want used hair in that way to be recycled into my style, but it is very nice. I guess they probably didn't have any options. I don't know if hair is on the books in the commissary when you're down, but shout out to them taking care of her and holding it down. Maurice Guy says the new smoke is not natural like in the 70s. Oh, he's talking about cannabis. Morris Phillips says, weed makes you lazy, makes you want to skip work too. Snoop Dogg would disagree. I don't know. I mean, it's a different time, right? There are definitely, a different approach as far as cannabis in this current culture and what it represents. It's represented business opportunities for some. Obviously, we're here in California, which is a state that makes
all day.
Shout
out to Gorilla RX down the street.
Black owned, right?
Black owned, you already know.
So, I think the perception around cannabis is different. There is something kind of along these lines that we're going to get into tomorrow night because it's all up in the business, but I can preview it right now. There's an interesting thing happening with Gen Z and older generations, but Gen Z especially. They don't drink. Alcohol sales are way, way down. Now, we know that they vape. They indulge in the flower, but they don't drink. They don't go out to restaurants. They don't go to clubs. So we're going through a quick transition. Quick. And obviously, with the things that the government is doing, there's a lot of differences in this generation. And I feel like I'm unclear exactly what the youth, I don't want to say hook up, but hang out, hook up, what all of that looks like because the social dynamics have changed up so much.
It's going to be the digital streets where folks gonna be hanging out at. Come to my Zoom room. It's gonna be lit up in there. That's the turn up now.
Still, people are like,
yeah. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, you got folks who stream, right?
Yeah.
So you're indoors now.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And you're talking to your audience. So I just feel like everything is gonna be a digital type thing. Maybe not right now at this moment, but considering ICE is out on the streets, might be people might be afraid to step outside, but I want to see my peoples. I'm gonna tap in with you digitally.
I'm gonna see you online. And that way I don't have to feel FOMO because I was there. I just wasn't in the room.
And
that's crazy.
With like gaming and stuff like that, I know GTA 6 is gonna be coming out pretty soon. Folks will be tapped in.
Did they move it from May or November?
I heard November of next year.
Okay.
Or this year, excuse me.
Yeah.
But I just feel like people will be in the house. Netflix, in the house. Everything, the hangout. I remember COVID. Folks were having birthday parties, graduations via Zoom.
And then once that was lifted, everybody wanted to be outside because they were tired of being boxed up.
Yeah, but they want to be outside, but they're not going to the clubs. They're not drinking.
They definitely, and they're not really talking to each other because they don't know how because they haven't.
So what are they doing outside?
They're not.
That's a good question.
They're not. Tony Yayo says Jim Beam having financial issues due to Gen Z. These are facts. And Morris Phillips says they ain't got no money. We've extracted everything from them, their wealth and their hopes. Maybe. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines.
Ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
They call it progress, but progress has a price. Land once held in black hands, taken, stolen, erased. Acres paved into highways, fields burned. Homes replaced by parking lots and broken promises. Every deed lost was a dream deferred. We talk about millionaires, but what about the millionaires that never were? The farmers whose soil was seized. The families who watched their inheritance disappear. The wealth that never had a chance to grow because its roots were ripped from the ground. They took the land, but never the legacy, because the soil remembers, and so do we. Every story matters. Our mission is to collect, preserve, and amplify these stories. If this is part of your family's history, visit blacklandlost.org/share your story and help bring us closer to justice.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. Let's do this. On the evening of Monday, January 26th, something special happened. Hundreds of people joined me for a live preview session on the anatomy of a great conversation, and we went deep, for starters, on the notion of curiosity. I mean, real curiosity. The kind that transforms how you connect with anyone, anywhere. We explored why most conversations fall flat, and I revealed 3 of the top 5 killers of curiosity that sabotage even the best communicators. But here's the thing, we only scratched the surface. The full 4-week journey begins Monday, February 16th with the founding members cohort. This course is for podcasters, leaders, entrepreneurs, anyone who knows that your next great opportunity can begin or end with the quality of a conversation. Space in this founding cohort is limited, so go to TavishTalks.com right now. That's TavishTalks.com. Click register or scan the QR code. Don't let this conversation happen without you.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, we've covered so very much so early. It's really not, but it feels like it. I don't know. There's a lot happening. Some of it I'm still in shock about. One last thing I wanted to say about Karen that I didn't. You know, here is identity, it's dignity, and survival when you're in incarcerated spaces, even when you're not, right? So in thinking about what those women did for her, it wasn't just cosmetic. It was really community. And the way women show up for each other, I mean, I'm sure y'all men show up for each other too, but it's just, you know, really something to be said, because I'm sure that experience for her had to be quite scary, had to be, you know, nerve-wracking. And they went out of their way to let her know, you know, that they cared and they got her. So I think that is incredibly sweet from that aspect. Okay, so Royal Jenkins says, I have to talk about Albie, Sher, and Lunel. Do I? Do I?
Yeah, do it. Forgot all about that. Thank you for the reminder.
So, all right. First off, I didn't know initially when I saw that. I was like, oh, are they like just really good friends playing up social media, or are they really dating? Because I thought Lunel was married. That's my first thing. So that's what I got to say. I thought Luenell was married. And I thought they were just saying they're really close and they're really good friends. Are they really dating? Look at me asking you guys. They're really dating?
I low-key kind of saw them kissing and fondling each other.
But are they really? Well, this is what I say, right? Because isn't Luenell being honored by this station? Isn't she part of the comedy cohort for the Black History Luncheon with DL and others? I feel like Luenell's name is on that list. So maybe we'll get to see in person if Al B shows up with Luenell.
Well, red carpet over there, huh?
I don't know. I'm going to just be honest, guys. Jill, do you know something we don't know? No, I don't know anything. I'm being real. I'm saying I really thought that they were just good friends, you know, playing with social media. I didn't go down the rabbit hole because I really thought Luenell was married, but I could be wrong. And, you know, stranger things have happened in Hollywood. What's that, Andy? I can't see.
But, you know, I think that people feel I'm unworthy of your love, darling, because they love you so much, honey.
I'm unworthy. No, listen, let me tell you something. I appreciate you. I honor you. I think you bee's knees, a.k.a. my boo kitty.
I'm going to wipe this lipstick off.
I'm putting my tongue all on your face.
Now they kissing and everything like that. I don't know. That's evidence to me right there.
It is. Like, I don't think that, I wouldn't be saying that Luenell is undeserving. I mean, in theory, they're not that far apart in age, in theory. You know, we are in the era of the cougar taking over, you know, our Drea Michelle's and all of the, you know. So, if you're both AARP age, I don't know if that counts as a cougar relationship, but no shade, no tea. I'm saying they're grown. Maurice said, oh, her husband passed away. Wow. Okay, so I didn't know that. So, you know, shout out to Luenell, right? You should be able to get it at any age. Listen, we already know where are the highest occurrences of STDs? They're in nursing homes and, you know, elderly communities. They get it cracking. So while the youth are refraining, the elders are getting it in. So make no mistake about that. All right. All right. Last story before we get out of here for the night. I'm going to give you an update on the Netflix Warner Brothers Discovery Senate hearing, right? So we've been waiting to see what's going to happen with that. Maybe you haven't. I'm curious. I just want to know where we're going to be getting our information from, what's going to happen to movies. So Netflix proposed acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery is headed to Capitol Hill, with Senate lawmakers preparing to question executives over antitrust concerns, right? The Senate Judiciary Antitrust Subcommittee meeting is February 3rd, and Netflix's co-CEO, Ted Sarandos, will testify. The committee is chaired by Senator Mike Lee, and Senator Cory Booker is a ranking member. And the scrutiny is heightened due to Skydance's bid for a hostile takeover. You know, they were just recently purchased. Paramount was recently purchased by Skydance, and their concerns include misuse of sensitive information regarding market dominance and etc. It's not just about cultural domination and content. It's about control. Whoever owns the pipelines of this infrastructure owns the future of storytelling to a degree, labor, and access. So it's important how this happens, especially as more and more in these times, media in some instances is starting to look like state media. That's why you check in here with the independents. All right, you guys, thank you for locking in. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. with more trending topics and headlines. It's Wednesday, so we'll be getting all up in the business. You know how it goes. All of the good things. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm back at it tomorrow, you guys.
You're feeling kind of right now, honey. Oh, no.